Alright, so we're on day 5 of the weight of the badge. Walking with 1 pound of weight for every suicide that we've had in law enforcement this year. Tonight, we're in one of the dark spots now, but tonight what I want to talk about is connectivity. And one of the benefits that have actually come out of everything we're going through in this country right now with the coronavirus. And I was reminded of that tonight when I was in on a virtual meeting with my lodge. So we're looking at PTSD, suicide, depression, anxiety, all those things. One of the areas that we forget about a lot, and it's very rarely mentioned, is our retirees. So I want you to think about this. You come into this profession, it's a brotherhood, a sisterhood, family, what we call it. And then the day you retire. So you retire, they give you your shadow boards, your plaques, everybody gives you your awards, they get you a big cake, watch, whatever it may be, you do your final call, and then you leave. And how often, after you leave, have your brothers and sisters reached out to you? How often have you heard from them? For those of you that are still active, how often have you reached out to one of our brothers and sisters that have retired? One of our areas that we need to focus on is exactly this, because you think about 20, 25, 30 years in your career where every day you're coming in, you're keeping in touch with everybody, you're talking to everybody, you're part of this. And then one day you retire and you're gone. And you don't hear from those brothers and sisters anymore. You don't have that connection to the community anymore. Not every one of us that walks away from this field goes to another agency or finds a way to remain in it. And when you think about that and you look at the aspects of isolation under PTSD and depression and anxiety, that's exactly what's happening. You're being isolated from all the people that you had the connection with, your friends, all the joking around, having somebody to go to lunch with every day. All that's gone. And then let's take on top of that, where you may have been dealing with your traumas before, coming into work, hanging out with your coworkers, and it got your mind off of it. Now you're at home, whether you have a spouse, significant other, you live alone, you don't have your regular go-tos anymore. You don't have those people that you talk to. You don't have the people that you feel safe telling the war stories to. And majority of us don't tell them to our significant others and our loved ones because we feel like they can't handle it, or we don't want to subject them to the things that we've seen. So we're left alone with all that. You start isolating, You're having flashbacks, nightmares, and I guarantee you a good part of these people that are in that retirement category, they haven't been treated for anything. These are a lot of the guys that have been there, guys and women, apologies, that have been there for years and years and years, and they didn't believe in talking. And it's bad now where you can't talk, but back then it was unheard of. Just 5-6 years ago, if you talked about it, you were ostracized, you were put out. That's just how it went down. We've gotten a little better about it, but not much. So one of the things that struck me tonight when I was in this meeting is, since this Corona stuff has started, we have been finding ways to do things that we didn't think we could do before. So we're using Zoom, Microsoft Teams, all these other platforms to do conferences, to do training, to do videos, teaching, all this stuff. So why can't we use it for connection to our men and women, our brothers and sisters that have left the departments, the retirees? Why can't we set something up to bring them back in and let them be a part of it, to keep in touch with them, to check on them, set up a network? This is one of the areas where every year we have a huge number of suicides completed because they lose that everyday contact with the brothers and sisters that they love and that they trust and that they would lay down their life for. Yet, when they leave, we forget about all that. And I'm just as guilty of it. I'm not talking about this trying to act like I'm great about this, because I've been horrible about it myself. But as we're learning to adapt to stuff and do things differently, why not use it for this? Why not use it to help out the men and women that have served our communities, the men and women that have trained us and taught us how to be good officers, the men and women that have given a quarter of their life to this profession? Why don't we do that? Why don't we make that commitment to set that up for our agencies, or just in general across the country? So if you are watching this, you share this to somebody, whoever it is, work on that. Get something set up. If you have a wellness plan for your department, our county, we're working on one right now for police, fire, sheriff, and communications. If you're doing that, don't forget about your retirees. Don't forget about those men and women, those brothers and sisters that have given their self, given a quarter of their life in most cases, to wearing the badge and to doing what we love. And remember the folks that were your field training officers that you went to every day with questions when you didn't know what to do, and they helped you out. Now it's time to return that favor. Help our brothers and sisters out. Be connected. Utilize Zoom, utilize Teams, Facebook Live, whatever it is, and drop in. Ask them how they're doing. Let them know what's going on. Make them feel like they belong. Make them feel like they deserve to feel. Same goes for the military. Folks that are out of the military, reach out, get connected. And I know in some cases it's not possible depending on where you're stationed at, what your assignment is. But when you get back home, get in touch with these folks. We're not promised tomorrow. Every day that we're given is a gift. And while a lot of this stuff with this coronavirus and all these things suck, this has been one of the positives that I got out of it. So let's work on that. Let's get connected. And let's give back to those who gave to us. Hey, you guys be safe. Have a great night. Take care of one another. And I will see you tomorrow.